Today, let's talk about Personal Finance 101 for new immigrants. For those relocating, there are aspects of the financial landscape in the USA that may be new to you, like credit score, credit cards, 401k, Roth IRA, etc. And this is where this video may be relevant to you. We'll touch on earning an income, budgets, spending plans, establishing credit and credit scores in the USA, and also retirement. Let's get started. Earn an income. To earn an income, salary in any shape or form, you have to be employed. With your DV lottery, visa, or green card, and your social security number, you can apply for jobs and get employed. This is very crucial and probably the first thing you have to do once you have your housing situation sorted. The money you come into the USA with will deplete fast if you are not earning an income. Most job postings are online, so sign up and upload your resume and start hunting. Remember, the goal is to get a decent job to get by while you work towards achieving your preferred job or career. In my situation, I took a security certification course and applied for a loss and prevention retail job with Kmart to get me started. I was being paid a little above the minimum wage in 2014, which was able to cover for my rent in a shared apartment, food, and transport. It wasn't all fun living in a shared apartment with strangers, but you have to make ends meet somehow. You shouldn't idle around or wait for the perfect high-paying job. Start with what you get, preferably something close to where you live, and once you start earning an income, and if you have the capability to add another one, do it. But remember, work-life balance matters. Make that money, but your health also matters, so use a common sense approach. One thing you should remember is to exceed expectations at work. Don't be lazy, be there on time, and be proactive at your job. Let your good work speak for you, and before you know it, you will be recognized and promotions will follow. Once your income starts flowing in, you will now have to watch where the money will be going by tracking your income and expenses. Note, the right budget is a game plan for your money that assigns specific jobs, tasks to each dollar you earn. Whether that job is to pay electric bill or buy groceries or put more into savings account, a budget is simply a money plan, not a magic potion. Having a budget or spending plan and tracking your expenses will help you decide ahead of time what you want to do with your money instead of spending randomly. Instead of asking where all your money went, you will know where it's going, and that's where budget comes into play. To start, two main numbers you will have to figure into your budget: income, that is money coming in, and expenses, money going out. To track your money, write down on paper or digitally capture every dollar you spend for 1 month. Include everything from your $500 rent to $3 coffee to your $16 drinks on Friday night. Remember to include savings as well, as it counts as an expense. Record each regardless of whether you paid in cash, check, debit, or credit card. At the end of the month, you will have a near perfect information laid out in front of you to guide the creation of your budget. And with this information, now you have the ultimate power to choose what you want to do with your money instead of reacting after it's already gone. There are many ways you can create a budget, either by using paper and pen, using Excel spreadsheets, or using budgeting app. Whichever you are comfortable with, start with that, and once you are able to grasp the full cycle of budgeting, you can advance to the other forms. Personally, I have been using a budgeting app called YNAB since 2012 and haven't looked back because it has simplified my budgeting needs. I basically enter all my expenses and its corresponding amount at the start of the month to equal to my income. Once every dollar is accounted for, as and when I spend money throughout the month, I record each individual transaction in the account I use. At the end of the month, I will know whether I was within budget, over budget, or under budget. Honestly, budgets are supposed to be flexible, so in certain months you may spend less in certain categories, and other months you may spend more, but the overall goal is to be aware so you can adjust accordingly. To get you started, I highly recommend this easy to read book Budgeting 101, which has tons of information on personal finance and budgeting. Also, for budgeting apps, you can start with Mint and also graduate using YNAB. There are other free budgeting tools and spreadsheets out there. I'll provide some links in the description box below. Remember, your habits will play a major factor towards the success of your money plans. So start small and be consistent. Consistency is the key. Keep going and let your spending plan guide your spending habits. Now that you're making a living and earning some cash and also tracking your expenses, it's now time to deal with the next level of financial freedom and peace of mind: savings and investment. Savings means accumulating cash in a secure space where there's no risk of loss. This is money you can count on 100%. This could mean stashing money away in savings account, piggy bank, in a box under your mattress, or even in envelopes, whichever you may desire. Even though I wouldn't recommend the last three examples, saving your cash in a bank, which is FDIC insured, means your money will be given back to you should the bank lose it. And what is more important is the power to earn interest on your money sitting in your account, which also compounds over time to make you more cash. On the other hand, investment involves buying something with the hope that it will increase in value and accepting the possibility that it may decrease in value or even become worthless over time. Yes, that's the risk factor associated with investment. If it appreciates in value, you'll be very happy. But when it goes sideways, it becomes a different story. As they say, the higher the risk, the higher the reward. Each month, what I personally do is when I get paid from my job, I pay myself first by putting a portion of the money allocated for savings from my budget into a high yield savings account, and the other portion in a diversified investment portfolio, which comprises of bonds and stock. To start, open a high yield savings account which has a high rate of interest. Traditional banks like Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo won't cut it for you since they don't pay anything when it comes to interest. Instead, rely on an FDIC insured online banks that offer a high yield savings account from 1% and higher. I am currently using SoFi Bank for my savings needs, and they are currently having an interest rate of 3.7% at the time of this recording. Other banks offering similar rates include Discover Bank and Capital One. I will leave my referral link in the description just in case you want to check them out and sign up for one of these banks. Every month, move a dedicated amount to this account and forget it exists. If you like hands-off like me, you can set an automatic transfer so every month on a specific day, that money is moved without your involvement. At the end of the day, just check your account to ensure it's there. With regards to investing in the stock market, a good way to wade into your investing is to start with an exchange-traded funds, ETFs, or index mutual funds. Both offer you a chance to hold an entire portfolio of investment in one single share, and they are among the most cost-effective, low-fee investment options. You may open a brokerage account using a brokerage firm like Robinhood and Vanguard, through which you can buy these ETFs to start investing. The credit score system used in the USA provides a snapshot of a person's financial situation, more like their credit worthiness. This information allows lenders to predict how likely a person can pay back a loan on time. The higher your credit score means you are predicted to be less of a risk, which makes it possible to get loans for mortgages and cars at competitive interest rates. Hence, the importance to build your credit from the get-go as an immigrant is very important. As immigrants, you may not have any history of credit score, and the best two ways I recommend you start is to 1. Open a secured credit card, or 2. Request a friend or a loved one to add you as an authorized user on their existing credit card. Secure credit card. With a valid social security number, you will be eligible to start building credit with a secure credit card once you apply for it. Most major banks have some shape or form of a credit card. Since these banks do not know you from anywhere, they will request you to deposit an amount of money anywhere between $200 to $500 on the card for your own use, and over time, they will convert it to a regular credit card and return your money to you. In my situation, I opened a secure credit card with Bank of America about 4 months later after arriving in the United States. I deposited $300 and used it for about 6 months. I called them to convert it to a regular credit card afterwards. They increased my limit to $1,000 and returned my initial deposit. The frequent use and full payment of the credit card fosters the establishment of your credit history and good credit score. Authorized user. In my case, I didn't use this method to start establishing credit in the States. An authorized user is someone who is allowed to use another person's credit card and reap some of the benefits it comes with. The authorized user is ultimately not responsible for the payment, but the primary cardholder is. With that said, it's unlikely someone will be willing to add you as an authorized user on their credit card. This person should be someone who has a good credit score of 650 plus. Let them know you do not want the physical credit card and that they can hold it for you. With that said, they may be more compelled to add you knowing that you will not have access to the credit card. Over time, since this person uses their credit card often and pays off timely, you will reap the benefits of increasing your credit score as well. Once your credit is in good shape, say after 6 months, request to be taken off their card and start your own journey. And please take them out for a nice dinner and thank them. Using credit cards. Credit card is a financial tool where a bank gives you a loan known as credit limit that you can use for everyday expenses or large purchases. They are subject to interest known as annual percentage rate. To use a credit card is simple. Buy everyday essentials, needs and wants alike, but make sure at the end of the month you pay the balance of your credit card in full. This may be simple, but a lot of people end up not paying their credit card balances in full, which results in paying endless interest and eventually getting into debt, which affects your credit score down the line. The rule is simple. Don't put anything on your credit card if you know you cannot afford to pay the balance in full. If you can keep this rule at heart, you will save yourself from woes of the credit card problems. And instead of paying useless interest on the card, you will be saving that money instead. Personally, I have tied the payment of my credit cards to the days I get paid from my job. So I use my credit card and when I get paid, I pay the balance off in full. There is a misconception that you need to keep a balance on your credit card. No, that's a lie. You do not have to, unless you like to give the banks free money. I mean, if you like to do that, that's okay. I'm not judging you. Another point worth noting is don't open too many credit cards for useless reasons like getting discounts from specific stores. Having 1 or 2 dedicated credit cards that will give you either cashback or points is better. Remember, cash is always king. Factors that contribute to your credit score. Credit scores are calculated based on these factors. Payment history. Payment history defines how consistently you've made your payments on time. This is the most important contributor to your credit score. 2. Amount owed. The amount you owe is the outstanding debt you currently owe across all your credit accounts and loans. The lower the amount of outstanding debt, the higher the credit score. 3. Length of credit history. Your credit history is based on the length of time you have had your credit account open in your name. A longer credit history can help your credit score. If you have had a credit open for a long time, it makes good sense to continue using that credit responsibly to maintain that good credit score. Credit mix. Your credit score can increase if you responsibly use different types of credit such as installment and revolving debt. Even so, it's not necessary to have many different types of credit in order to have a good credit score. New credit, also known as credit inquiries. The pursuit of new credit negatively affects your credit score. So every time you apply for a new credit card or any kind of credit, your score goes down. So take note of this and don't open too many credit cards. Point to note. Remember, your credit history and score are very vital in your life in the United States. Not just applying for loans is dependent on it. Your potential employer may have a pick at it. Your landlord and other establishments may review your credit history before dealing with you. The better your credit history and score, the better the prospects. So don't mess this up. Personally, I would always find something to do for each waking moment of my life, but it doesn't mean I won't retire from my active work. Starting your new life in the United States with the end in mind is definitely something to think about now and not later. Do you want to stay in the USA after retirement, or would you want to relocate back to your home country and visit USA from time to time for your medical checkup, visit family and friends? Me, I would like to do both. Retirement planning involves knowing how much you will need to have saved before retiring so you can live off it without being broke. The amount you contribute towards Social Security will help you get benefits and cash during retirement, but that won't be enough, and that's where your personal savings and investment for retirement comes into play. The cornerstone of retirement planning is determine not only how much you save, but also where to save it, and that's what you have to be aware of. 1. Contribute to your employer's retirement savings plan. Unfortunately, not all employers may have the retirement savings plans like the 401k plan, but if they do, contribute to it. Some employers will match what you contribute and will help lower taxes you pay on your income. And over time, compound interest will make a difference in how much you are able to accumulate. Note that the 401k or any such investment plan is tied to buying stocks and bonds on the stock market, which of course can increase or decrease in value, so do your homework well. Remember, it's a learning process and you have to dedicate time to make it happen and learn more about such retirement plans. 2. Putting money into an individual retirement account. Should you have an extra money you want to save towards retirement, you can look at the Roth IRA. This type of account is geared towards your use after you retire, and usually the amount you contribute and capital gains, that's interest, will remain tax-free when you withdraw at retirement age. The IRS will slap some penalties on you if you withdraw prior to that retirement age, so do your independent research on these before committing to them. There you have it, guys, an introduction to personal finance for new immigrants relocating to the United States. These will give you ideas to get you started on building a solid foundation. There are many more to know and learn, and as with anything, you want to be really good at it, especially when it relates to money. You will have to make the conscious effort to be focused and also consistent about it to make it work. If you like this video, hit the like button, and if you're interested in similar practical content pertaining to the DV lottery and also settling in America, consider subscribing to this channel. I have links and other resources you can check out on these topics I talked about in this video. Thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one, and good luck.